John and Lance here from the bench. Mornings on ESPN 97.5. Let's talk some Texans football. Lance, defensively, you lose DJ Reader. Tim Jernigan was supposed to be here, and he's not here. You got Bernardrick McKinney coming back. JJ with his money, and we got to find out what's going to go on there. And you got to pay Zach Cunningham. How are you going to pay Zach Cunningham with all of this money that's out there right now?
It's going to be tough. I think when they're really going to have to wait on Zach Cunningham to get through the year and almost maybe have a wink and a nod agreement that we'll get you taken care of after J.J. Watt is off the books. Now, that's making the assumption that J.J. Watt will roll off the books. It would take a cap cut. He's got 2 years left, so it would take a cap cut if I remember correctly, which I think is very, very possible with Watt. And Watt may – I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he would welcome an opportunity to play with another team, but he's Mr. Houston Texan right now. There's no question. You'd hate to see J.J. Watt go. But for the financial good of the team and the long-term I think the long-term good of the team, they may need to dig up his salary cap spot and kind of slide it to players who are going to be here a little bit longer. So I think it's a concern. Will Fuller's money. What you do with Will Fuller is going to be a concern. So you can find money. Every year you can find money, but what's going to be trickier, John, is this cap spot. It's going to look different because of the coronavirus.
Absolutely. Would you prefer – now, Cunningham, Bernardrick McKinney can come off the books after this season. It would be 1.5 in dead cap money. He's 8.5 against the cap. That's his cap hit. They're going to have to rework that or do something with him. Or just cut him. Would you rather have Cunningham or would you rather have McKinney?
I think you always, Bernardrick is he's a little bit of a tone setter though in the middle. I know it's easy for me to just say Zach Cunningham because Zach is also a guy who plays on third downs. But Bernardrick can rush the passer a little bit. He's physical. He does set the tone in the middle. And he may be a little more important this year than in years past with the loss of DJ Reader. We could see an increased importance on the physical inside linebacker. But, when you look at the way today's NFL game is played, if you can get a pass rush and coverage potential from Zach Cunningham, the way the game's played, it just makes Zach Cunningham a more valuable player over 3 downs in today's NFL. And he does have better sideline-to-sideline range. So I guess my answer would be Cunningham, but I really do view them kind of differently in terms of what I expect from them on the field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as well with Gary and Conley. They didn't pick up the 5th-year option on him, but if he plays well, now you got to give him a big. You didn't want to give him that 5th-year money, that's for sure. Not after seeing what you saw, but you did bring him back, and he's going to be there as well. It'll be interesting to see whether or not you can pay Can you pay McKinney, Cunningham, and Conley all at the same time?
It's interesting. You don't want to pay him that 5th-year money. But you could potentially give him even more than that,
right?
If he plays well this year. I don't see a scenario based on what I've seen of Garyon Conley as a pro. I personally don't see a scenario where Conley's back for some of the reasons you're talking about, because you have other guys to pay. And I think in terms of the pecking order of my expectations for Garyon Conley, I don't think he's going to play well enough that you want to give him more money than a rookie deal. I really don't. You've got Lonnie Johnson to worry about. You've got. I want to see if Xavier Crawford becomes a player. You're the 6th-round cornerback you grabbed a couple of years ago, 5th or 6th. So, and then next year you could also look at the cornerback position. So my guess is Conley would not be a long-term. I'd make him like a, minus 250, not going to be a Houston Texan in 2021. That's my guess. So I don't envision where they pay him actually even more as a cornerback than they would have paid for the 5th year.
But we know they made the right decision, though. You couldn't have given him that 5th year, and not after what you saw. You weren't going to give him that 5th year. So you roll the dice on that. You hope he plays well enough. Hey, if he plays well enough, then, maybe he goes to another team and plays. But you're right. They can't pick up a cornerback in the draft in the 3rd round next year, Lance. So you know how good 3rd-round cornerbacks are going to be. Certainly, he'll step right in.
Oh, that's right. I forgot there's no draft picks. We got a lot going on these days. I forget about the draft situation with the Texans.
Yeah, we got one more year of no draft picks. That'll be great.